Maybe from the car. Let's see.
Let's see. So, how are you today, guys?
Very well, thank you.
Excellent. So, we started talking about the different types of personality, and we will continue. And we spoke about what is important for them. Now, we need to talk when we communicate how we can use the specific words. For example, imagine that you are in a critical situation. Hello, Desi.
Hello.
You are in a critical situation. For example, you are, let's say, driving your car, and suddenly something happens and you have a flat tire. You stop the car, and it's very busy traffic in the street. You have 4 people around you, one of each personality types. Who do you think will come to help first?
Maybe the yellow one.
The yellow, why?
They're so helpful always, even when they cannot help.
Yes, okay, they're very helpful. They want to help. Then,
Yeah.
maybe they are ready to help, but they will not be the first. Who is the fastest?
Blue.
The blue.
Yeah.
So the sanguine, the blue, they will be first because they love helping and they're very quick. And then who will be just kind of standing and looking?
Red.
Red, no.
Yeah.
Green. The green will collect information and try to see how to help most effectively. Desi, am I right?
Yeah, maybe yes.
And the red will start giving orders. You
All right.
go, you take, you
Yes.
immediately delegate. So how can you use the 4 types in a good way in this critical situation? Yes, they have their spontaneous reaction, but do you think you can manage this team of 4 people in this critical situation, and how? What do you think? Stefka, any ideas?
Uh,
You just let the red do everything. The red will put them in the right place immediately.
this is how I imagine it.
Not always. Not always. Usually they will. But yeah, the tire is easy. I will give you a harder one in a minute. But if they don't know, they can be a bit destructive because they get nervous and they start shouting at people. They start giving very direct orders, and usually doesn't work very well when they are under stress. So how can you do that? How can you organize it?
I'm not sure how all these 4 people can work in a team. Uh,
This is the real challenge for today.
Yeah.
Can we put the 4 personalities in a team together? And how?
for sure, we need somebody to do the real work.
Who is that? Who's the one who's doing the real work?
Maybe green, if he had the time to.
Green will work. Yes, they are
Yeah.
very strict to do their duties and obligations. Then who?
Blue, if we can motivate them in the right way.
You can hardly motivate a blue because they are motivated for 30 seconds and then the next 30 seconds they're somewhere else. But, okay, usually they love working. They are workaholics. What about the yellows?
Yellows, they would be happy to help, but usually they're followers. So
Yes, but they work. They work hard.
They will help. Yeah, they will
Yeah.
have the main worker.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about the reds? Are they lazy? Or are they hardworking?
I don't think they're lazy. No, I
No.
don't think so.
Mhm.
They're very quick and
Yes.
also hard workers.
Yes. Usually, none of these personality types are lazy. But some people are lazy, no matter what color. Sometimes blues can be lazy when they decide that now I need some time to dream. Or the reds can be lazy when they say, I've had enough. Nobody listens to me. Nobody wants me to be their leader. I've had enough. They stop doing anything and they become a bit lazy. Then the greens can be lazy when they dig very much into information and they can forget about work, especially when they are planning something. They are planning the next big event for the company. Oh my God, they can plan for a week and not even pick up the phone because they're so focused. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, it is. And the yellows, when can they be lazy?
Oh, very often.
When they get demotivated. There's no
Yeah.
one to help. What I do doesn't matter. Nobody sees what I do. They start taking things personally and they become very demotivated. They don't want to do anything. So it's good to know, because when we work with people, we can use some words and phrases to help them do something. And this is very dangerous because you can start manipulating people with that. But believe me, they will know it very soon. So you can use, like everything, you can use these things for good or for bad. I suggest you use them for good, because then you will have no problems with people. But if you try to manipulate them, everybody understands that sooner or later. So what can you tell a yellow to help them help and get involved? Stefka, what do you suggest?
They need to have exact instructions.
Okay, give me a direct sentence.
All right.
What can you tell a yellow?
Would you please collect the needed tools in order to change the tire?
Is that good for the yellow? You forgot a very important word.
Please.
No? In this way, you will help me very much.
Oh, all right.
So
yeah.
there should be the word help for the yellows. And it is like ping, ping, a lamp going on. Then, Rumen, can you follow? Do you understand me?
I understand, but I don't know what is
Okay, but you understand.
blue, green.
Okay. Yes, because you didn't do the text. Sorry, the test. The test is on the front page. You have it in English and you have it in Bulgarian. The 4 personality types. This is the blue, the sanguine. The choleric is the red. The melancholic is the green. And the phlegmatic is yellow. It makes it easier rather than using all these words. So do the test and have some fun, because it's really interesting. Then when we talk to yellows, we need to use help, friends, team, contribute. What about the greens? How can you motivate them to take part in the whole process? Desi, what is important?
I don't know.
Stefka?
Something about information, maybe.
Information,
Do you
but in
know?
this case with the tire.
Yeah. Do you know how a tire is can be fixed? So
And they spend
I
3
will
hours on
cooperate.
Google to check.
They probably know already.
Probably, but this is the easiest case. So perhaps you can use something like, we need a plan. Can you please give me a quick plan what we can do and how to organize the changing of the tire? Desi, are you ready with the plan? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what about the blue?
Uh, don't you think it will be fun to help me with the tire?
Really fun, getting dirty. You know, when we say the specific words, it doesn't mean we need to use them directly.
Yeah.
But we can try to use a synonym or create the idea, or you can say, you know what, while we're doing this, why don't you play some nice songs so that we can work faster? So you will have an excellent DJ there
Yeah.
to help everybody not get so focused and nervous. So it can be a good idea. What about the red?
It is
Can you really help the red in any way? Remember, this is maybe the only tool you can use. I'm not sure if you can do it. So just challenge them and then just watch what they can do. This is usually the button that you can push with a red. Well, you know, I'm not sure you will manage. I'm not sure you can do it. Do you really think you can do it? That's enough for the red. Now, let's have a more difficult situation. You are at a very important company meeting, and there is a 33-slide presentation. And you start, you present, and just about slide 5 and 6, the electricity goes off. The hall is full of people, and you have 4 people around you to help. What can you do in this critical situation? First, who will you go to for help?
I would go to the blue one first,
Why?
in order to make the situation a little not that serious and
Okay, so what can you ask the blue?
I don't know. I think
No?
the blue
This
would
is,
make a joke even before I ask. But anyway,
not always. But you can ask them, do you think you can say something or do something to help people not panic? Because they're very creative, they work very quickly, and he will definitely think of something. Then you go to who?
I think red.
Yes, the red. Why?
Yes, they are very impulsive,
Impulsive.
and I think they do something special and quickly.
Okay, so they have the ability to see the situation very quickly and find a solution.
Yes.
So they immediately say, you call this one, you go there, you check this. They start distributing. Then, in the meantime,
In the meantime, I think green.
the green, why?
Situation, and he.
Okay, but how can they work together?
I don't know.
Well, greens respect authority. And usually they're very respectful. You can tell the green, could you please go to Mr. Johnson, and he will give you very important information what to do and how to do it. Can I ask you to help everybody following those instructions, because I am sure I can trust you. Is the green ready to help? Definitely. And what about the yellow? Kumbaya! What about the yellow?
something like that.
No, it's not. What about the yellow?
Again, they would help with the rest of the duties.
How? So what is very important here? Please, please, please remember this. Never send yellow directly to the red. Because the red will say, you don't do things right. And the yellow say, yes, of course, he doesn't like me. So these are very straightforward, and these take things very personally. You tell the yellow, could you please go to the green one and help him or her, because they will need a lot of support. I'm sure I can trust you with that, because you are incredible in such situations. And the yellow will join the green, and they will be a good team, because the green will just give the orders of the red very strictly. The yellow will make sure these orders are carried out properly. And the blue will create the peace and harmony somehow. So there's always a way to put them to work together. It's not easy. But what we need to have in mind, blues, they can get demotivated or distracted very quickly. So usually it's a good idea to put the blue together with a red, because the red has the ability to give some frame to the blue if possible, and they give them direct tasks to do. Usually the red one is, in critical situations, the best one, because they work very quickly and they give very systematic way out, solution, whatever. So when you address the red, usually they find a way to put everybody else in the right place. But be around the reds, because they can be quite rude, especially in crisis. They need to have someone to somehow, usually the green can put all these orders into better language. So sometimes greens can be very straightforward too, but yeah, they are better than the reds. Okay, now I gave you some tips, what you can do. Can you give me some practical examples that you have already had at work, at home, especially with children and spouses? Something that you think you instinctively found a way to motivate the other color. Examples?
I'm yellow, so I'll need some time.
Not so much, I'm afraid. And this is green, she will need time too.
Yes.
Okay, so please don't use all the time.
Yeah. I'm sure there are so many situations, but right now,
You can't remember.
no, I can't.
Okay, so usually colors and personality types are very practical. And that's why we start talking about them. Then we will talk a little bit about communication and normal line of communication. But in order to use the correct language, we don't use exactly the words. For example, you try to focus around, for the blues, you try to focus around big things. They like big things. They like changing the world. Not just one person or one family. They like changing the whole world. They like spacewalks. They like dreams. They like big things. So be bold to use very strong language with them, very expressive adjectives. You don't say, it will be nice. It works with the greens. but not with the blues. You should use amazing, terrific, incredible, wonderful, over the moon. This is their language. You should speak fast, and you need to try to find the element of fun, entertainment. When you're talking about work, don't tell them it will be fun. But you can say, we will work hard, but then in the evening, I'll get you to the bar and I'll buy you a drink. So this is not trying to make everything sound like entertainment and fun, but put the element in your conversation in a clever way. When you talk to a red, what is important for them?
Not to use too many words. And
yes, try to be short.
Yeah.
Try to say things very directly. Do you use very big adjectives? Yes, you can. They don't mind. They have very open mind. But don't waste their time. Don't speak too much. And always you should include something, why they need to do this and how it will benefit them. So you can say, this is a very difficult assignment, and maybe you will not get a pay rise, but you know what? It will be on your CV, and the next employer, when they see it, they're going to be respected, because only great people take this position, including great position, benefit, so it's enough for the reds. Well, what about the yellows? What do you need to put into your language? Help.
Yeah.
Then friends, family.
Friends, yeah.
Yeah. So they live for this. How can you motivate a yellow?
To make them feel that they will, whatever is the task, will support the team.
Yeah.
And of course, to congratulate them after that, as it is also important.
Yes. So because they take things very personally, they need to receive some form of appreciation. Greens need it too, because their perfectionism wants to hear, well done, good job. Yellows, for different reason, they also need it. So the blues and the reds, they're not so dependent to hear. Well, reds, they want somebody's, the boss, to say, well done. Otherwise, the whole team, the whole staff, who cares? But if the boss says, well done, oh, that's important.
Yeah.
The blue, I don't care what people think of me. I can have pink hair, and I can put the green dress, and I can have orange shoes. Who cares? It's important to have some fun. I am what I am. They are maybe the personality type that doesn't care. But they also love to hear some nice words. Everybody does. But especially the yellows and the greens, they need them very much. So try to give a compliment, to pay a compliment, try to appreciate what they do. And this is something we need to learn. You can start with small things. But for example, I have a friend who is really funny with that. You do something so small, and he starts saying, wow, this is incredible. Say, come on, I just gave you a glass of water. No, it's so... He's just overdoing it. Don't, because it's kind of funny and ridiculous. Not a nice idea. You can just say, thank you, I appreciate it. That's enough. And the greens, They need to know that they have done the right thing. Maybe this is the question in their mind all the time. Is this the right thing? Am I in the right place? Am I the right person? Am I right, Desi?
Yes.
So they have this thing all the time in their mind, and they need someone to help them and say, yes, it's good what you're doing. This is the right thing. You're the right person. So colors can be real fun. And you can start using for the, oh yeah, we didn't say about the greens. What really matters is their perfect performance. Perfect plan, perfect performance leads to perfect results. Nobody's perfect, but we want to be. If there is a single perfect person, it's going to be me. No, they should be the red, but the greens, they need this kind of order. They need this kind of atmosphere to feel safe, to feel accomplished. So give them clear instructions and give them time to develop the whole thing. Sometimes it can be very time consuming. They can spend a whole week digging Google and all other sources and references you can think of. But when they come, they are ready, they're prepared. So these people don't work very well with deadlines. It gives them a lot of stress because they want to do things perfectly and they don't have the time. These are not good with deadlines because who cares about deadlines? People need to be happy and they need to receive the right help. These don't work with deadlines at all. It's now or never, who cares, whenever. So these guys, they need a red one to try to bring them closer. These are excellent salespeople when they don't think about the sales figures. When you give them a target, they're motivated, but to check their performance daily, they're going to quit. They can't do that. Follow up and a blue, forget it. They forget you made a call, you need to call again that customer. No, I'll call a new one. This old customer is not interesting. I know everything about him. No, you need to call him. Nah, send the yellow to do the call and all the follow-up and things. They love it. Don't send the greens because people will feel like they are in the police station. Interrogated, questions. These are wonderful for follow-up. These are wonderful for plans and analysis. And these are very good for strategy. So when you have several people, you need to think, how can I put them together and their strengths to be used in the best way? So we will talk about that when we talk about network marketing, because there it's very important. You don't have the administrative tools, you just have the motivation and the right environment for the people. That's why it's very difficult to do network marketing. You need to know people very well, because when you're in a company, you have a lot of administrative tools and you can use them. You can say, okay, if you don't do that, you'll get your fine, 50 leva fine for being late, 50 leva fine for not meeting your deadline, no bonus. You have other tools. But in real life, we don't. So what could be a great motivation? You can take the blue out to dinner. Excellent motivation. You can take the red to an expensive dinner. Excellent motivation. You can take the yellow to a party full of people. Excellent motivation. You can take the green to a museum or a library, or give them a subscription to the National Library. It will be a great motivation. So I think HR departments need to work more on finding the right motivation for the specific person. Was that practical enough?
It was very interesting, for sure.
Okay, but I'm not asking and I'm not testing. So next week, I'm going to test how many colors you found around you and in what situations did you manage to use these skills. Because you know, a skill develops when you practice. Otherwise, we can just talk and I can share all of my experience. And it's more than 15, 20 years. But I've been practicing much. So now it's you. You have 1 whole week to practice.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Okay, next week, come back with your examples and your wonderful stories.
All right.
Roman, are you ready?
Maybe.
Of course. You do the tests, and then next week you will try to tell us some examples.
Okay, no problem.
Absolutely. So thank you, guys.
Thank
I
you.
believe this is something that we need to work on because it helps very much practically. Have a nice evening now.
Thank you.
Have a very successful, colorful week. And see you next Monday again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See you soon.